You should have a better catchphrase, honestly, because what do you usually say? You're just like, "Welcome back to Chit Chats," but like you need something better than that.
Um, yo,
You
yo,
need,
yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Chit Chat Man. What up?
yeah.
That's
There you go.
that pretty good.
That's that's a start.
That's something we can
It's
workshop it.
we can workshop it.
But for now, welcome back to Chit Chats, everybody. My name is Antonio.
And I'm Donovan, and let's have a chit chat.
All right, here we are,
Yippee!
everybody. Another wonderful episode with the your boys. Your boys are here. And today, Donovan, we have an agenda
What?
because I don't know if you knew this, but there's this really stupid game that came out. It's called Pokemon Legends ZA, and it's the
Really?
most heinous game I've ever seen in my life. And we're going to talk
Holy
about it today.
guacamole!
I know, yeah.
It actually came out like a while ago at this point.
Yeah, well, it came out like 3 months ago, yeah. So, as of when we're
Yeah.
recording this, it came out about 3 months ago. But yeah, it's the most
Old
recent
news.
Pokemon game that came out, and like it's there.
Me too.
It's a conversation worthy game, I think, and I think a lot of people were feeling that because a lot of people had a lot of opinions on this. Um, and
Yeah.
we both
And so
played
we're
it to
gonna add
completion.
ours to the fire,
Yes.
as they say.
I've been outspoken, or I've been what's the word I'm looking for? I've been like I am it is
You've been
known by now that I am a Pokemon fan. I'm a big, little
yes.
goofy goober Pokemon fan.
You
Um
have been lambasted. You
mhm.
put your opinions out there and you got lambasted for it on Instagram.
Yeah, I that's true. I
Couple
forgot
thousand
about that.
views, right? Or something like that, couple hundred views
I
and
think it
and
got like
people
a
were mad.
couple, like tens of thousands of views
Yeah.
on that Instagram video that I posted. Yeah, I did. I posted a little clip of me talking about Pokemon, and I just got so many hate comments on that. But I was kind of
And
asking
so
for
now
it.
now you're the Pokemon guy.
Now
Now you're
I'm the
going to hell
Pokemon
because
guy.
people disagree with you.
Yeah, I'm the unapologetic Pokemon defender, I guess. So that's what I'm here to do today is to defend this
Oh,
game.
okay.
No, I just thought we could just kind of give our thoughts because me and you, frankly, are two of the only people that I know that have like played through this game, at least to like completion. Um, and so yeah, I think we could just kind of give some thoughts, give some critiques that we have, things we like, things we disliked. Because guys, let's be fair about this. Like this isn't like the worst game that's ever come out. I mean, like, I don't think that's
No.
unfair to say, but that doesn't mean it's that doesn't mean it does not have problems, and we'll talk about that. But let's get into this, Donovan. I want to talk about first. I want to go over like when we both played Legends Arceus, and we
Oh
both
yeah.
enjoyed Legends Arceus. You've told me before that is like pretty much your favorite Pokemon game, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Yeah. I
so
think so. I would still say that.
yeah,
I
and
played it.
it's up
I
there
mean,
for
we
me.
both played it when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
yeah,
was
I thought that the open world in that game was like super refreshing. I
yeah,
liked the setting, and it may have been a little bit of the nostalgia goggles because I did grow up with Gen 4, and so
right.
that appealed to me personally. But yes,
Yeah.
I did love that game.
Yeah, it was quite a departure from the normal Pokemon formula, and many people have expressed it before, but I think that's why like a lot of people did take to that game in a positive way. Um, and yeah, I mean I have a lot of nostalgia for Gen 4 too, so it definitely like it struck a chord with me in a good way. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean immediately when I finished that game, I was just thinking like, oh man, like I really hope they make another one of these or just continue to make games in this series. So this game I was very hotly anticipating whatever the next Legends game would be, because it felt like it was ripe for new entries. Um,
Yeah.
And so when it was first revealed that they were finally doing a new Legends game in I believe it was February of 2024 was when the first like reveal trailer dropped for ZA.
Mm.
Um, I like what were you thinking? How were you feeling when that first came out? Do you remember?
Was that the first one where it was like they kind of stylized it
Like a
like a
blueprint.
wireframe or a
I
blueprint?
think it was
Yeah.
supposed to be kind of
Okay.
like a blueprint,
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah.
But it had like Pikachu running through the
Yes.
city and stuff. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
remember that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I remember that. I was excited at that point because it had been like 2 years since Legends Arceus at that point, I think.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet and Violet came out in 2023, right?
No, it came out in late 2022. 2022
Oh,
was
late
the
2022.
the infamous year when we got two mainline Pokemon games.
Oh, wow. And then we
Mm.
got like just DLC in
Yeah, and then in
2023.
2023 we got just DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Um,
Okay, what did we get
yeah.
in 2024 then?
We didn't get anything.
Nothing.
That was the first
The
year in a
year
long
without
time
Pokemon.
that we did not get any like mainline Pokemon content. I'm trying to even remember if there was any spin-off games that came out that year.
Crazy. That's
I don't think there was.
crazy.
I think we got Jack Dick that year in terms of Pokemon.
Jack
But
Dick.
we did get that trailer, and I wanted to talk about that
Yeah,
trailer because that was the only piece of information we got about ZA for a year, pretty much.
yeah. Wow.
So the anticipation was building, because I was really excited, but like that's the thing about being a Pokemon fan is you're so used to getting like fed content constantly that like when we didn't get a reveal trailer or like a release date. We didn't get any news for that game for a year, and it was weird, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but it was also promising because I felt like a big criticism with Pokemon games is how kind of rushed they feel, especially recently. Um,
yeah,
and it felt like they were going to take their time with this game more. So I think that
yeah,
that was a big hope for a lot of people, including
yeah. I
myself.
agree. And
Hmm.
like, I think around the time that that trailer came out, I was still like not super ready for a Pokemon game yet because I played Legends Arceus and then I played Scarlet and Violet,
Hmm.
and we both talked about our experience with Scarlet and Violet, but I left
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet feeling a little burned, but a little
Yeah.
burnt out on the whole franchise just in general. I
Yeah.
thought at that point like that it was pretty like obvious that like all the games were going to be pretty low effort. So I agreed. I was excited that they were like spending some time on Legend ZA and like
Hmm.
actually taking a couple years for fans like me who don't need something like every year. I'm
Yeah.
happy with it being every couple years,
Hmm.
but it's refreshing to have a break, and
Yeah,
and
for
and I
sure.
welcomed it with open arms.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like that was the thing is like I was like caught off guard by the wait, but I wasn't unhappy about it. Like I was like this I think this is going to overall be better for the game. Now we're obviously going to talk about like if it really felt like the wait amounted to anything, but
Yeah. So did you feel like that kind of like raised your expectations for the game?
yeah, I do. Unfortunately, I do think that had that effect because it's just like we're so used to getting them like every year or every other year that it just was like, what we're like this is because if you think about it, if you don't count the DLC, it was a 3 year wait between the base game of Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends ZA, which
Yeah.
is a pretty good amount of time, especially for Pokemon. Um,
Especially when they have multiple teams like developing the games at the same time. Yeah.
yeah, and I would imagine pretty big teams as well. Um, and yeah, it was interesting to see the wait for that. I remember we officially got like an actual gameplay trailer in February of 2025. That was the first time we got any new like
Mm,
like details since the initial reveal. And
okay.
yeah,
I don't remember that one.
I'm just kind of going through the history because like I think that like my like all of this was kind of integral to like just how I was perceiving the game like up until it came out. Um,
Yeah.
I remember I was pretty worried about the concept of it only taking place in one city. That felt like a
Hmm.
pretty big limitation compared to the first game.
Yeah.
Um,
I agreed, but I was cautiously optimistic because, going into it, I thought, okay, well, they're only going to have one city, Lumio City. That's fine. Like, arguably the most developed, like, location in any Pokemon game, I would argue, is Lumio
yeah,
City in X and Y. And so, I was okay with that as long as it felt like fully fleshed out and there was enough to do in the city that kept it engaging. And
yeah,
we'll get to whether or not I felt that way by the end, like it
yeah,
actually lived up to that expectation. But
yeah. No, for
I'll
sure.
just say spoilers. I don't think it fully did.
Yeah.
But
Um, well, I don't mean to prolong this like this preface discussion too much. Like we can just get into the game
yeah, well, well,
because
well, what did you think? Because I don't remember the first gameplay reveal. Do you remember what you thought of it? Like, when they first showed it off, first showed off Lumio City.
yeah, so I think the main three things that I remember taking away from the first trailer were the look of the game, the the um the fact that it was like it really was only going to be in Lumio City, and like the new battle style because they did show off like
Mm,
briefly the new real-time battle style of the game, and I overall I felt like pretty good about all those things. The one thing that I wasn't as like keen on was the visuals. um I
yeah,
don't think they look bad, and I'm talking about I'm talking about like the visual style, not the graphics per se, because that's a whole other thing. But
yeah,
like compared to Legends Arceus, I just felt that Arceus had a more like appealing visual like aesthetic, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Um,
That's true. The the style in Legends Arceus is very like it's pretty basic, but it's nice to look at. It's like kind of
yeah.
painterly. It looks good on the Switch one, and then
Hmm.
ZA doesn't really have too much of a visual identity. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like
It's just
plasticky, I guess,
yeah.
generic.
Like it doesn't look bad. It
Yeah, it
just
doesn't look bad.
it just looks, I don't know. It just looks kind of like whatever. Like they weren't really going for any style with it per se.
Yeah.
But that was, but
Was it weird to see like a real-time battle system? Because I don't think that I even really picked up on that until
mhm.
closer to when the game came out. I didn't even realize that it was real time.
It was definitely like I was interested in it. Like I was very interested in it because that's infamously something that Pokemon is criticized for, is like their lack of innovation with the battle system. And I can't
Mhm.
say that I was ever super bothered by it. Um because I've like dipped my toes into like competitive Pokemon, and so like I see the sort of like value in the way that they have it, but I definitely was interested to see how they would change it up for this game. And yeah, it was cool. I was excited for it for sure. um
Bro, how many hours do you have in the browser Pokemon battling
oh, Pokemon
simulation? I forget what
Showdown,
it's
I don't
called.
even know.
Pokemon
Like
Showdown.
I used to play that shit so much back when we were in like 8th grade. Like that was I loved that shit, but I've grown
Yeah,
up. I don't play it that much anymore. I don't, not really, but or like hardly ever, but
yeah.
you know.
And I'll just say for my background, I have always appreciated and had a respect for the battling systems in
Mhm.
Pokemon games, but I've never really gotten that in depth with them. For me, I'm more interested in like the world of the game and
Yeah.
the characters and whatever story they're trying to tell. But I usually have enough fun with the battle system to
Hmm.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's you it gets you by
Yeah.
the normal battle system. Um, but I think that's like pretty much everything else leading up until launch was just like, oh, new mega evolutions. The mega evolution like marketing that they were doing pre-launch was very interesting. Uh
Mm,
cuz it felt very like they were trying to hype them up cuz they know mega evolution is a big feature that people have wanted back for a long time. Um but you remember they were coming out with all those trailers that were like they were like in universe of the game,
yeah.
like advertisements and or like news reports, like found
I remember the
footage.
Victory Bell one. Yeah, the
The
found
Victory
footage
Bell
Victory
one was
Bell
really
one.
funny.
That one
Yeah,
was pretty funny. I liked that one a lot.
I was a big fan of those because it felt like they were like trying to have fun with them rather than just be like, oh, here's a new Mega Evolution. I mean, they did that for a couple of them, but most of the
Yeah.
time they were making them more interesting than that.
In general, though, I felt like the market, maybe I just wasn't seeing a lot of the marketing, but I felt like besides those trailers that like I feel like only like core fans of the game would really go out of their way to see or
Yeah.
watch.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the marketing for the game, they're kind of dodgy with it. Like I didn't see any like commercials on TV for it or anything. I didn't really, I mean, personally, I didn't really see a lot of like advertisements on social media or anything for the game. It was mostly just like online discourse about the game and speculation going into it that exposed me to like what people were saying about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I
to
don't know
be
if you had the
fair,
same.
I mean, I had a similar like I wasn't super like I wasn't really paying super close attention to how they were doing the marketing because I mean I follow Pokemon, so like obviously I was gonna see stuff about it, and
Yeah.
like they had stuff in the Nintendo Directs and everything. But I kind of feel like maybe they held back on the marketing maybe a little bit because it was maybe Legends is kind of a more hardcore or like core series like sub series, so like you know but I mean, at the same time, it is Pokemon. Like, people are gonna buy it, but like, maybe they were kind of like,
That's true.
not everyone, not like it's not like a brand new generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I guess maybe they don't feel the need like they need to market them very
yeah,
much
I
because
remember
people will just buy them
Arceus kind of
anyway.
had a similar like amount of marketing, if I remember correctly. Like I
Okay.
was seeing the trailers for it, but it like I didn't feel like it was being shoved in my face necessarily.
Sure.
Um, but let's get into like the game itself. So overall thoughts. I
Overall.
I guess like if I had to summarize my thoughts, I thought it was good.
Okay.
Um,
If you had to give it like just out the gate, if you had to give it like a rating out of 10, like just out the gate, what
see,
would you say?
well, like I want to give an answer to that, but I also wonder if like we should try to like let's wait till the end to give that. After we've talked about
Okay.
it. What do you think? Does that you cool?
I
You
think
think
that's
that'd be good?
fair. Yeah.
Okay. But like I'm just that's why I'm just giving like a one word summation.
I'll I'll say
Yeah.
I'm gonna go one lower. I'm gonna say okay.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Um so I want to go like I don't really have like a super defined structure for how we're going to do this. I have bullet points of stuff I want to talk like talking points. I figured maybe we could go like pros or like stuff we liked about the game and then get
Mm,
more into the like negative parts of it like over time because we might have more to talk about regarding that stuff, you know?
yeah. I have some notes too, and I kind of have them organized into like good and then like the meh or things I think they could have done a little better on, and then like
Yeah.
the things I thought were bad. So
Yeah.
I think that that works for me.
Yeah, okay. So, first thing I'll say, the Legends style still works really well, I think. That was like one big takeaway. I mean like to
What do you
me
mean by that?
like just the style of like okay, like it's a very generic way of saying it, but it's like just running around this big environment, and it's like all kind of one. I mean, like it, obviously it changed from Arceus, but like running around a more of an open space, doing like, you have your main like quest, but you also have all these side quests you can go do. You have the kind of defined parts of the world where you can catch Pokemon, and the Pokemon capturing is a lot more like real time battling and real time
Mm.
catching, which I think works really well still. Um, yeah.
Okay, wait, slow down. Okay, so
Okay.
let's
Sorry.
let's talk about just Lumio City itself
Okay. You want
first. So
to
you're saying,
let's talk about the setting. If you want to talk about the
yeah, let's
setting.
talk about the setting,
Okay.
because I uh, the setting is something that I have in my meh category
Yeah.
because
Me
I
too. Pretty
I
much.
because I wanted them to do a lot more with the setting of Lumio City than they ultimately ended up doing,
Yeah.
because the city feels very hollow. And like, yes, there are a lot of NPCs, but they
Hmm.
just kind of like stand around. There's nothing really that interesting in the entire city to that like actually got me excited. It's really just a lot of buildings that look the same,
Yeah.
and there's like a couple landmarks, but like just like playing the game, even though I played it for like 70 hours, I still by the end like had a hard time getting around the city because
Yeah.
there wasn't really any like landmarks or like uh organization
Yeah.
that like funneled me around the city in an exciting way. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. That was a big problem I had, was like it just felt like everywhere you go in Lumio City, it kind of feels and looks the same overall.
Yeah.
Like the
It feels
only
like a little lazy, I would
yeah,
say.
overall it just is like the only way that I was getting around was like looking at the map and then setting marks for myself of where I specifically wanted to go and then just going it like in that direction.
Yeah.
Whether it be to like different wild zones, which we'll talk about, shops, like story locations, like any of that, like without like setting those markers, I would not be able, I would like have a hell of a hard time finding them on my own. And
Yeah.
I can't say that Arceus had that problem. I feel like Arceus's world was a lot more. I mean, obviously there was like subsets of worlds in that game, like areas, but
Yeah.
within each area, like it felt a lot more like defined. Like
Yeah.
like there
It
were,
was like a designed space. This is
yeah,
just like a bunch of like buildings and NPCs just plopped into a
yeah,
world, and it
mm-hmm.
kind of feels like there wasn't that much thought put into it.
Yes. And that was definitely, I know we're going out of like the order that I thought, but like it doesn't matter. Um,
That's okay.
because like that was a big issue I had, but I think I kind of got used to it over time while playing the game, so it ended up not bothering me as much. And I think I was able to like appreciate like details about the city, that like I was like I kind of like let the problems I had with it go and then was able to appreciate more things, cuz like, you know, they still have like specific areas. It comes down to like the wild areas for me mostly, because
Yeah.
the wild areas do feel like the most prominently like specific areas of the game that I can like remember like
Hmm.
specifically. Cuz there's
Same.
like, cuz I mean, it's kind of funny to me cuz it's like, oh, well, we need to have a snow area in this game. So here's just a random part of the city with a bunch of snow, or a random part of
Yeah.
the city with, like a bunch of water that you catch water Pokemon. I don't know. But
Hmm.
if that, like, I didn't mind that because it was just like, well, that's just the way that this they want to have the city designed for this specific game.
Mm,
Um,
sure.
and like,
I was a little more so the wild zones are interesting because I it feels like they're there as a limitation of the Switch 1, I would say,
mm,
and that they needed like a they couldn't just have Pokemon running around. They needed like a small defined space.
yeah,
And I don't mind them like organizing the wild Pokemon zones into more confined spaces because that's the way Pokemon's always been.
yeah, mm-hmm,
My problem with it is just that, like, they feel so separated from the rest of the city where there's literally, like, a barrier around them.
yeah.
And I I
I mean,
I don't think I think it could work for some people. I don't think that the Wild Zones design really worked for me all that well because I
yeah, I
would
mean,
prefer it being more of a seamless experience.
no, for sure. Like, I would have like, okay, I would have much rather it been like, they're like if they had to have like sectioned off parts of the world or like sections of the city that were like specifically meant for you to catch Pokemon, like you know, I would have definitely preferred if it felt more seamless than like you're literally going through a gate, like you pause to go through a gate and now you can go run around and catch Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
I do agree that that was probably done to make it more like to just make it everything run better on the Switch One.
Yeah.
Um,
I will agree though that I do think that like some of especially some of the wild zones were pretty memorable. Like
yeah,
there was that one near the end of the game with all the Pyroar where there's
yeah,
just
that
like
one,
6 of them and they're all like level 50 to 60.
yeah,
And
everyone.
then you like you
That's the
said
one that
there's like
everyone
the ice
remembers.
one. There's like I remember there's one with a bunch of ground type Pokemon.
Yeah, there's one with the ground type
Um
Pokemon. I remember, like, I just remember specific ones that are just like maybe not like they don't have a necessarily defined environment, but it's like the one with all the Clefairy that go in that little
oh
like
yeah.
that little structure. Um, yeah, there's the one with like a bunch of dragon Pokemon. Like it's been a minute since I've like actually like sat down and played the game, so I like they're kind
Yeah.
of escaping me right now. But the ones that stand out really do stand out. Um, I do think that like at the very least they gave a in-universe reason as to why there's these like sectioned off parts of the city. Um, but I don't necessarily think it wouldn't have been as like clunky if they had planned it to be on like specifically the Switch 2 or just a more
Mhm.
powerful console in general.
That was interesting to me because I thought that the direction that the story was gonna go into was to kind of talk more about like the social implications of sectioning off wild Pokemon to a
Mhm.
specific zone, and that maybe by the end of the game, like there might be some sort of message about like Pokemon and humans living together, like
Yeah.
more holistically.
Mhm.
But I don't really think that like they kind of touch on it in the beginning of the game and in
Yeah.
some of the NPC dialogue, and then it just they never really like flesh it out very much. Like the story just goes in a completely different direction.
No. Like they kind of just they kind of explain it and then it's like that's just how it is. I mean like
Yeah, just meh.
yeah, and yeah, we can get into spoiler stuff, but just like, I mean the whole end of the game like amounts to just another wild zone if you think which is kind of funny. I mean,
Yeah,
truth be told like I haven't done everything there is to do in the base game. Um And I also I own the DLC or like I bought the DLC. I haven't played any of the DLC yet. Um but like so like that's I just wanted to get that just kind of get that clarified. But
yeah.
yeah, overall the Wild Zone concept like I got used to it, but it's not my favorite. I definitely preferred how Arceus did things with their
Yeah.
open areas.
So what did you think about like speaking on the wild zones? What
Mhm.
did you think about kind of the overall gameplay loop? Like going between like the daytime, like exploring the city and doing
Right.
the wild zones, and then at night you have the ZA Battle Royale,
Right.
like the red zones, which
Yeah.
I'll just say for me, I thought that like the overall gameplay loop is pretty
hmm
strong, and I think is probably the best part of the game.
Yeah.
It gets to me, it gets a little stale after like I played for like 70 hours, like I said.
Yeah.
It gets a little stale after a while to where I'm like, okay, I'm like in the same environments, doing the same things over and over, back and forth. Like I get
hmm
it, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say that that is pretty strong. Did you feel similarly?
Yeah, I did. I definitely agree that it did get more cumbersome than fun towards the end, but it kept me engaged throughout the majority of the game. I mean, catching
Yeah.
Pokemon's always my favorite thing to do in these games. Especially like like the first Legends game, loved catching Pokemon. That was pretty much all that you had to do in like the actual open world itself. Um, but the battling, the way that they implemented the battling, I thought was really well done. And I mean, like the real time battling was also really cool, and that's like that's like its own sort of topic, but um,
Yeah.
that made me more engaged when battling. Like that made me want to battle more
Yeah.
because I liked the way that they handled the battles in this game. So yeah, I'd say I
Yeah.
liked the gameplay loop overall, and that was kind of what I was getting at with. I mean, like they changed it from Arceus, but that was what I was getting at with like this specific type of Pokemon game. Like the um the loop was pretty well executed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the battling system was a super big departure from the norm. And I'm for it. I don't think they're gonna make it a standard, but at least for the Legends games,
Mhm.
I think it works pretty well.
Yeah. That was something I was interested in, like, because they've never done real time before, and yeah, I kind of thought that there might be more like outcry for them to maybe let you choose or something like that. Because
Mm,
Pokemon, like, there, I feel like there are some like deeper mechanics that are missing because of the real time battle system. Like, you don't get the like the abilities, right?
yeah, that's true.
Um,
Which
and
they could implement
and
in with the real
they
time
could,
battling. I feel like.
yeah, they
Um,
could.
I
I'm
mean,
curious why they didn't, to be honest.
there are like it is when I think about it, there are a lot of moves that they had to change to accommodate for this battling system. But I think they did they had to change how like stealth rock worked and like entry hazards and the way that
Mhm.
certain the way that certain like moves are like handled. But I think it was for
Yeah.
the better. Or I mean like I think it was interesting the way they did it. So I do think abilities
I
would have
will
to change
say,
too.
at least as a casual player,
Yeah.
I feel like because they changed the battle system, that does make some moves kind of and because the battle system is so like time dependent, like you have to like keep track of like how much you're using moves and stuff.
Yeah.
It does kind of make some of the moves like irrelevant. I feel
Yeah.
like stealth rock and stuff. It's like I never used moves like that. I'd pretty much just
Well,
use like attack moves, to be honest.
yeah, and I mean like overall like that's what you're mainly going to be doing. For me it was like I liked the idea of like having to kind of you have to kind of be more engaged in the battling like as you're doing it. You can't really just sit there and press A. You probably can like
Mhm.
if you like just really don't care and like I don't know like you
Yeah.
could probably get by with doing that, but like I don't know. I feel like it's more designed for you to like be moving around, figuring out the optimal time to use certain moves, more than just the way that most mainline Pokemon games are, which I enjoyed.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree. I agree. I think that the real-time battling system is probably a stronger element of the game.
mhm.
Um, than I thought it would be initially.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that I think I still prefer the traditional battling just a little bit more because it feels a little bit more. I mean, you said that you feel like you have to, pay attention a little bit more. I
Mhm.
feel like, eh, I mean, you're right. Traditional Pokemon battling can kind of be like a press A simulator,
Yeah.
but I also kind of feel like, especially towards the end of the game with the real-time battle system, it
Hmm.
kind of became the same thing where it's just like send out a Pokemon into battle and then press any button like A, B, X, or Y and just do any of the attacks and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I might be giving it too much credit. um, I think that both have merit, and at least in terms of like, because a lot of the debate about like, well, you can just press A. It's like that kind of comes down to like the difficulty of the game. The difficulty of the game is not hard,
Yeah.
um, and as it is with
But
most
I
Pokemon games,
appreciated when it was hard because
yeah,
there
it
was
wasn't always like dirt easy.
yeah, there was like a couple side quests where you had to fight in the restaurants?
Yes, I did not do all of those. And for
Okay.
that reason, like some of them were like harder than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
um,
But I'm gonna say right now, I think that the side quests in general are like kind of straight dookie, like the worst aspect of the game to me. But
oh,
those side
interesting.
quests in like there's like three or four of them where you fight in the restaurants. Those
Yeah.
ones are really fun
Hmm.
because those do test your skills and they do force you to like think about what Pokemon types you have in your party,
Yeah.
when you're sending out the correct Pokemon and what moves you're using. And
Yeah.
especially like there's the last one you have to fight like 10 trainers back to back and you can't heal at all.
Yeah.
And it's actually really hard and really fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. They wiped out my team like probably like 3 times. And I had
Hmm.
to restart, but I wasn't even mad because I was like, this is actually pretty cool.
No, yeah, for sure. And I have not completed all of those yet because like I'll admit it, like I'm a little like I get impatient. Like I'm just like I don't want to sit here and just keep doing this over and over till I just when stuff gets hard, sometimes I can be a little bit of a wuss and a quitter. But I do I I,
Mhm.
I do want to do it eventually, or do them eventually because I did a couple of them. Some of them I didn't do.
Yeah.
But I agree. I'm very happy that they like implemented like a non-mandatory side challenge that is actually like you have to put time in, and it's like actually challenging. I think that's really
Yeah.
nice.
And you
Um,
can pretty much do them whenever too, because you can like
yeah,
pay a certain amount and then
hmm
you can do it again and it'll train up your Pokemon. But
yeah.
hold on, really quickly, I just want because I know you didn't really do much of the side quests,
I did a
but I
lot of
want
them.
you did.
I would
Okay.
say I did like 80 to 85% of them. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, I
um,
think there's only like I'm pretty sure it's exactly 100, isn't there?
maybe, yeah. That sounds like it could be right.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like I did most of them
Hmm.
up to a certain point when I realized that they were a waste of my time. And this is my biggest complaint about the game in general, because I feel like if you have a world that is like not that interesting and is kind of generic, like they did in Lumio City, you kind of have to supplement it with like interesting things that happen in the city. And so that would be the side quests.
Hmm.
But I do not feel like they delivered on that at all. And like most of them are like super generic, super boring. It's like show me a Pokemon or it's basically show me a Pokemon or fight me in a battle that
Yeah.
you'll win immediately. And
Yeah.
there's a couple others that are like a little more involved, but
Hmm.
for the most part, they are just straight ass. Like
Yeah.
I am not going to like uh sugarcoat it. They're just straight ass.
Yeah. And frankly, I mean like okay, I think the one aspect of the side quests is that sometimes you like that I think is like worth I guess doing them for is sometimes you get decent items from them.
Okay,
Um,
I'm going to counter that
okay.
because at least the way that I played, the items that you get from most of these side quests are like battle items that would like raise
Yeah.
the attack or like affect a certain Pokemon in a certain way.
Hmm.
My problem with that is that this is a game that is all about mega evolution, right? And so
Yeah.
with your party, you're always going to want to have, and maybe this is just me, but I always wanted to have Pokemon that could Mega Evolve. The problem with that
Yeah.
is that they have to hold the Mega Stone, and so I never felt compelled to give them any of the extra battle items. And
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
basically doing the side quest was completely a waste of my time
Yeah.
because I wasn't using any of the rewards from those side quests.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fair. I mean like I think sometimes you get like good TMs from them, maybe if I remember correctly.
Mm, that's
Um
true.
but other than that, yeah, they're pretty superfluous. um
Yeah.
I did a lot of the side quests, but it was pretty much just because I wanted to try to just do all of them. Like I was just like, well, this is what I need to do in the game if I want to try to like complete it, so I'll do them. I don't think they were interesting. Mainly because
No.
I can barely remember like any specific ones. Um,
There was one where you like have to accompany this guy's Slurpuff to a different
yes, I do
cafe.
remember that one. Yeah, and
You
it's
remember
just
that one?
like great, awesome.
That's the one I keep remembering as like an example of why the side quests are bad.
Yeah, but you know you're right. A lot of it is like show me this Pokemon, battle this, do that. Like I the one that I liked was or like that stood out to me was like the Starmie Colt one
Oh
that
yeah.
like for whatever
That's a pretty good one.
that
I
one
liked
made me
that one.
that one was memorable for me. Um
Well, just because it was funny.
yeah, that
Like
one was just
a
funny.
lot a lot of them are just like glorified tutorials where it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, do you know about status moves? Here, I'm
Yeah.
going to fight you in a battle where my Pokemon only uses this status move."
Yeah. That's very true.
And
It's
it's like,
very
"You're
like
wasting my time. I've played Pokemon forever. I don't need to know this."
yeah, and
And you
like
could
that
say that like it's just for like beginners, but
yeah.
I I I don't know.
That's kind of the thing with Pokemon is it's like every game they always like they do kind of hold your hand through a lot of it or they like give you they feed you a lot of tutorials like modern Pokemon games specifically. But I at least with these they are optional. Like you don't have to do
Yeah.
like they don't like force you to do all of them, you know. Some of them they like are part of the story, you have to do them, but
Yeah.
like you know if there are kids that are like oh I don't know about status or I don't really know about status effects or I don't really know about certain like battle items or certain types of Pokemon like you know I feel like they can be decent. I really think Pokemon would just benefit from like having like a specific difficulty setting that you can change. Like I think
Yeah.
that would
I
solve a
agree.
lot of people's issues because it would
That would
make
solve my issues with the side quests for sure.
yeah, and it would make battles like overall if they could just like have like you know easy medium difficult or easy medium hard and it like changes the levels of Pokemon whether in battle or in the wild. Maybe make certain side quests like more like elaborate. I don't know. Like that's like a
Dude,
whole sort of conceptual thing.
you're
But
cooking. You're
well, I
cooking.
feel like other people have like expressed that. Like I don't know. Like I know. Okay, I know in Black
Put
Two and
this
White
man in
Two, I
charge.
know Black Two and White Two. They literally have a system like that. But it's so like
Uh-huh.
that's the only Pokemon game where they've ever like implemented that themselves. But it's so stupid because the only way that you can get both is one, I believe, post game, and two, you have to connect both versions via two systems. And it was always so stupid that they did that way. I don't get why. Um
Yeah.
anyway, that's a whole other rant. Um yes. The side
Dude.
quests not very good. Um
Yeah.
but what something that was good was the new well, kind of two topics in one. The new Mega Evolutions, overall, I liked them. And two, the
Yeah.
new like boss battles where you fight the rogue Mega Evolutions. I enjoyed those overall.
Mm. Okay.
Are you on the contrary with those?
Well, yeah. So, um, I'll agree with you. I like a lot of the new megas. Like I don't really have many complaints with the new designs, but
Mm-hmm.
that's something that Pokemon has, I feel like, always been strong on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I liked seeing the new megas throughout the game as they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was cool. But yeah, the battles themselves, it's another aspect like I was saying with the wild zones and with the battle zones that just kind of feels repetitive after a while.
Yeah,
Um,
I could see that.
and they tried to add a little spice with each of the rogue mega evolution battles by like giving them like interesting moves that your character has to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes they'll have like semi interesting like cutscenes or character moments surrounding them.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I just wanted more from them. Like, it's not that I disliked them. It's just that like by the end they felt stale because it didn't really feel like it was giving me that much.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I don't think they were perfect. Um,
Yeah,
but I think I enjoyed them more. I definitely enjoyed them more than the boss battles in the first Legends game. Um,
that's true. Yeah, I'll agree with
I
that.
think they were definitely a step above those. Cause yeah, I mean, like one thing that I enjoyed about them was like it didn't feel like they felt engaging. I'd say overall, like
Hmm.
you can say it like I don't think they were hard, but like they
Well,
felt
some of them near the end I thought were decently difficult. Like, I don't think
yeah.
I ever like got knocked out, but I definitely like almost did on a couple of
I
them.
I did get knocked out a couple times, but that was probably mainly because
I might have.
I was just like I wasn't like giving my full attention to them a little bit, which you could
Yeah.
say is kind of indicative of the fact that like they're not that like engaging. I don't know. Either way, like I think just the concept of them I enjoyed. The execution could have been better, but I think it was overall like it was good. I enjoyed it. But
Yeah. They were palatable.
yeah,
I'll just say I kind of just wanted more from them. And
yeah,
I
that's fair.
think
They were
another
repetitive.
one of
That's true.
yeah, especially like I was going to talk about like the arenas for them is like all the same
It's
between all
always
of
the
them.
same. Yeah.
I think it
Mm-hmm.
would have been cool if like they were just fought like on a rooftop, but like it's like a big rooftop and then I don't know.
I
I
mean,
just like seeing the city. I didn't really like appreciate that it was just like in this like weird purple arena every single
yeah,
time and it just kind of like added to my feeling that they were super repetitive.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it would have. It definitely could. They could definitely could have benefited from like more varied environments.
Yeah. Just switch it up a little bit. Like they don't have to do that much, but
Yeah, I wonder if that also was like a limitation of like the Switch, like having to
yeah,
design it for the Switch
probably.
one, because it definitely made. I feel like it made like the concept of them happening a lot more like just easy for like the Switch hardware to grasp, frankly. Um,
Yeah.
really, and like unless you have anything else you want to say about that, I want to go into what a big aspect of, or two big aspects of this game that have been highly contentious. Um, and
Okay.
that's the graphics and the performance. um,
Okay.
and I
We
thought
can
about the
talk about that.
performance because I think there was the one time, and this is something that I don't think has happened to me in a Pokemon game since or before. Um, the one time I had a game, just the game flat out just crash on me, was during a Rogue Mega Evolution battle.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
shit.
like it just the get like it just like made that screen pop up that said like the game card failed
Yeah.
or something like that. And I was just so caught off guard. I was like, this has never happened. And I was a little, I mean, like, that was the only time it happened, but I was kind of like, man, why is this happening, man? Come on.
Mm,
Um,
that's
but
frustrating. At
so
least it only
like,
happens once,
at
right?
least it only happened once. Yeah.
I don't
No.
know why I'm
I
defending it.
I wonder if it's happened a lot for other people or like it's happened more than once for other people. Who like
Mm,
I don't know, like cuz I I don't have like I have a Switch OLED that
yeah.
I got like 2 years ago. I wonder like I'm just thinking about like people that have like generation 1 like 2017 Switches like
Yeah. Like me.
I'm not saying that like they couldn't run this game, but like yeah, like you. I just wonder like if they had even more problems. But either way.
I don't
Um
know. That would be an interesting thing to see. I played it on my brand new Switch 2.
yeah. Well, you had the Switch 2
Not
version.
to brag.
Not whoa.
Yeah, I do. The
Um
Switch 2 version.
but you could
So,
you
but
could
like, did it?
you could pop that into your Switch 1 and it would work. I'm pretty sure.
You think so? I
I,
haven't
I,
tried
I
it.
think I know that for sure because I think one thing about the Switch 2 editions is they are essentially like they are both a Switch 1 game card and Switch 2 game card in
Interesting.
a sense.
Okay, I'll have to try that out because
Yeah,
my only
I would
experience
try it.
playing it on the Switch 1 was seeing you play it
Yeah,
um,
right.
when we were on the train. So,
Right. Um yeah, overall like okay. Overall the game ran fine. Like it was
was there like slowdown? Did you have a lot of slowdown?
um I had slowdown sometimes during like the more involved parts when there was like a bunch of Pokemon attacking me in like a wild area. The game would like it would stutter. It wasn't like unplayable, but it was just like it was there. Um,
Yeah.
and I think during like the Rogue Mega Evolution battles, it would happen sometimes. Um,
Mm,
but I'm not super picky with that kind of stuff, but it was noticeable. Um,
yeah.
but overall, like throughout the majority of the game, I think it ran fine. And I don't have a lot of complaints for that. I know that for you, obviously, it was like a lot smoother. But like,
It
how was
was,
your
yeah, like
experience with it?
I pretty much just had like a flawless like 60 frames per second. Like it was fine the whole time. I didn't have any
That's nice.
slowdown. My problem, like performance wise,
Hmm.
is the popping.
Yeah,
I don't like it has like some pretty bad popping when you're running around the world. Like characters will like even on the Switch too, like sometimes like a character will just appear right in front of you while you're running. And
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, that's been the case. I mean, that was. I mean, it's a lot. It's interesting comparing this to the first game because the first game felt a lot more it wasn't as cramped. So I feel like if there was poppin', it didn't feel as like intrusive.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like if you kind of get what I mean by that. But like there's so much like the city feels so like there's like people running around, there's Pokemon, like there's a lot more opportunities for that to like be noticeable in a contained
Yeah.
space, I feel like. So yeah, that wasn't the best part of that. Um graphics wise, that was a big point of
Oh my
contention
God.
like regarding, I mean there's the infamous like, oh, the windows are flat or the balconies are flat, textures and all that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's not at all preferable.
We can kind
um
of go past this section quickly,
yeah,
I think.
because I mean
Enough
everyone's
has
already
been
kind of
said,
said
and
stuff about it.
it's pretty much true. Like,
Yeah.
but what people are missing, I think, is just that it's just due to the lesser power of the Switch One, and like
Yeah.
as much as I am like ready for like a full Pokemon game that runs based on the power of the Switch 2 and
Hmm.
uses all of its power, like I was fine this one last time just playing
Yeah.
a Pokemon game that was built for the Switch One. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's between generations, and so I don't really feel the need to complain about it that much.
Yeah, for sure. It's I don't want to sit here and defend it cuz I don't think
Yeah,
it's like completely like I don't think it's worth defending. But I
no,
will say that as someone who played through the whole game, it's not it didn't detract from my enjoyment. And I think that that's fair to
yeah.
say. um
I definitely wish that they had like for the Switch 2 version, like maybe gone through and like cleaned it up a bit, like because I noticed
yeah.
like some of the textures were like lower quality, or like maybe they had gone back through and like added in those balconies again or something, you
Maybe,
know.
yeah,
But
maybe that would have pleased some people regarding it.
like you said though, like it really did not affect my experience of the game that much. It was
Yeah.
just like every once in a while I'd see a wall and be like, "Wow, that looks awful."
Yeah.
And then I would just laugh about it and move
And
on.
then move on, yeah. Cuz I mean, for me and I've we've talked about this before, like when it comes to playing video games, like I am like a gameplay first type of person. Like that's my main
Yeah.
hook when I'm playing a game is if the gameplay's fun, I will probably enjoy it. It could look like the most fucking atrocious dog shit you've ever seen, and if it's engaging for me, I'll probably like it. And that's pretty
Yeah.
much what Pokemon is. Ha ha ha. No. So no, but either way, like when it comes to Pokemon, like I enjoy the world overall too. Like that's the world, the just the Pokemon, the overall just like the theming of the game. It's really cool. One aspect of the game that I want to bring up that I feel like I didn't I feel like you're gonna have more to say about it than me is the story.
Yeah.
Like what? Like I just want to hear your opinion. Like, what was your opinion on the story overall?
Yeah. So, the story and the characters are kind of intermixed because this is like I
Yeah,
feel like a game that is very like led by its characters,
yeah,
which I guess you could say for a lot of games, but like I don't know, like this one specifically, like the quality of the story is like based around the characters that
yeah. I
show up.
agree.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's the entire structure of the game with the ZA Royale, you kind of have like these like I would call them, you know how in like anime there's like arcs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would call them like arcs, whereas like this arc, this part of the story where you were this rank is focused around this character, and then it kind of moves on to the next character, and then like at the end of the game, they all kind of like come
Converge.
together, and
Yeah.
like it's a
Mm-hmm.
little messy, but you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's fine.
It did.
I, but overall, I would say that the story is it's palatable. It's not
Yeah.
doing anything that great.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like have some complaints about specific arcs if you want me to go into that.
Yeah, I'd be kind of interested to hear. I wanted to say really quick that I do think it's kind of funny how like you like you said you have all these arcs and then the final like climax of the game is like hey here's all the characters that you met just all coming together just it's
The
a big
power of
party.
friendship.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
something. But yeah, no, I'm curious like what parts of the game were like were you did you have a bone to pick with? I'm curious.
Okay. Um the Naveen arc and the one where you're fighting the streamer girl. I think I've
Mm.
talked to you about this, but I hated that part of the game. I thought I thought that the streamer girl and Naveen were so fucking obnoxious and annoying in that part of the game. And
Yeah,
maybe
that's
that's
fair.
just a personal thing, but I they did the streamer girl thing with in Scarlet and Violet too, and I thought it
They
was
did.
annoying there too. Like
Yeah.
I honestly like whenever there's like
It's just gonna be
characters like
a
that, for
regular
some
thing
reason
now.
they I just like I can't deal with
Well,
it. I don't know.
it's so funny, and this is. I think this is gonna be one of two times that I bring up this other game. I just finished Spider Man,
Oh yeah.
the PS or 20 Spider Man 2018,
Mhm.
and like I was just playing through the DLC, and I have to like in the specific part of the DLC. There's another like streamer girl character. I think she's in the main game too. It's been a while since I've like done the stuff with her in the main game, but like it just kind of reminded me like of the
Hmm.
like it's like all these games with like streamers like just that's just becoming a constant now.
It's
uh
for the I guess it's for the kids. The kids
yeah, it's
like streams, you know. I'm
yeah.
not we're not part of that generation that grew up watching streams, and so,
It does
you know,
very
it
much
is
feel
what it
like
is.
how do you do fellow kids sometimes though, like
It does though, yeah. That's
so
my problem with it.
yeah,
And like there's kind of some like decent humor surrounding like streamer culture and like the fans and stuff, but
yeah,
I just found it obnoxious. I can't
yeah,
I couldn't get past it. The whole time I was just like, "Get me past this, please."
yeah.
And then I thought uh, I'm just gonna go through all the arcs. Then there was the Ivor arc,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was fine, but it's like nothing special. You know, you go into the sewers, and I thought that was gonna be way more interesting than it was because it's like, oh
Yeah.
my god, it's like a new area.
I wasn't
But then it's
expecting
just
that. I will
like,
admit that. Yeah.
no, I wasn't expecting it either. But then it was just kind of like
It was
super
just
generic.
yeah,
Yeah,
not anything crazy.
yeah. But I did like the last two arcs. I thought those were pretty good. I liked the one with like um the what was his name?
I'm not good
I
with the
can't
names
remember
of
what his
the
name is.
characters in this game. I'll be
Is it like
honest.
Corbeau or something?
Corbeau, was he like the like
The
the
poison type guy?
yeah, like he like a
He ran like the crime syndicate.
yeah. I think that
Yeah.
was his name. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
Looking
thought that I liked that, and like there's the whole thing
yeah,
like
this guy.
you're yeah, that
Yeah.
guy.
Uh-huh.
Your whole like group is like under in debt to him. I thought that was like kind of funny, and
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't like the most interesting thing ever, but at least it was like kind of engaging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then the last arc with like the the woman who was the head of like the battle syndicate or
Yeah.
whatever, and wanted you to battle. I thought that was
Mhm.
kind of funny.
Yeah, it was
Um,
yeah.
I think where the problem that I have with like the story overall is just that it's not super cohesive, you know. And I thought that um, it, this is kind of just like a problem that I have with a lot of Nintendo games recently, is
Mm.
that like they split up their games into like these sections that kind of have nothing to do with each other, and then at the end it doesn't really feel that satisfying when it all comes together, because it really doesn't. It's just
Interesting.
like, oh no, there's a threat that like
What
came out of nowhere, and
what's
you
like
have
another
to
example
everybody fight it.
of a Nintendo game that had like a similar problem? That had like that similar problem.
Um, as much as I love Breath of the Wild and it's one of my favorite games, I will
Mhm.
say that Breath of the Wild kind of has that problem.
Well, yeah, that's something that I've
But
heard about.
even
Like the story in that game is not the strongest element, obviously.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is a little stronger in that department, but
Yeah.
it still kind of suffers from the same thing. I just
Mm.
feel like Nintendo has a problem right now with like writing stories where they can't come up with like an engaging like overall story for a game, or like a scenario that is
Yeah.
interesting enough to carry the entire game. And so they kind of like anime-ify the story where it's like split up into like separate arcs that have
Yeah.
nothing to do with each other. And they expect you to enjoy it by the strength of the characters alone. And
Yeah.
I
Sure.
I I don't think it always does it for me, you know?
Yeah, like it's interesting. Like I would love to see like how Nintendo, specifically Pokemon, tries to structure their modern stories, because a lot of what I notice with like these games, or specifically like this game, is it's like, okay, we need to hit these specific things need to happen because we need to have a character that has like this Pokemon, or we need to have a character that shows off this part of the game. And so like to
Yeah.
me it reads almost like they're coming up with that structure, and then they almost like go in and craft the story around that structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's always something that stood out to me, specifically with Pokemon,
Yeah. It's
modern
very
Pokemon.
like gameplay first, everything else
Yes.
comes second, which like
Yes.
I understand, but like for a $70 game, I would
Yeah.
expect them for it to be a little bit more engaging with some actual like writing going
No.
into it
Yeah.
and thought behind the overall narrative because
Mm-hmm.
like I think that was what I appreciated about Legends Arceus too was that there was a little bit more to it and that like yes there was like each section of the open world each like open world area had its own kind of sub story
Yeah.
but there still was like an overall like the Pearl clan versus the Diamond clan and
Yeah.
then like they were trying to resurrect like our what was it they were trying to resurrect like the legendaries right
Yes, I believe so.
and then there's like the part where you get exiled from uh from the town. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, towards the end, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just thought it was like there was something there. Like they were trying to tell a story about the birth of that region.
Yeah, well,
Um
I think Arceus had like to its benefit had a lot more of a like it was kind of set up for that progression better because you had the different areas that kind of did you got access to like as the story progressed and it kind of like they funneled you in a direction that made more of a cohesive story or like made more sense with the story. Whereas with Arceus it's or with ZA it's a lot more like it's just kind of all over the place because you have pretty much access to the whole city off the bat. I mean, like obviously the wild
mhm.
zones unlock as you go, but like I don't feel like the wild zones ever amounted to the story. You know, they're just kind of like, oh,
No.
you can go and now you can go here and catch more Pokemon, or now you can go here and
Yeah.
do these quests. You know what I mean? So, um,
Yeah, it's just that's just like a gameplay thing that
yeah,
they
ZA was a
don't
lot more
really
like.
touch on narratively.
No, I agree. I think ZA was more. It was just more like random bullshit.
They
um,
to their credit, they do try to have an overarching narrative,
yeah,
with, like, all the stuff with Team Flare and Lysander coming back, and, like, Lysander kind of
yeah.
has, like, a redemption arc, but it I don't know, it just, like, was never really that strong for what I would expect, like, a sequel to X and Y to
Yeah.
to be, you know? Like, what I think it's disappointing when I think about what it could have been, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, I feel like that's kind of what you would come to expect, for, especially from the Legends games, was like fleshing out the world and the story of these Pokemon games in a more like grounded way than the mainline games. I mean, obviously,
Exactly.
like the gameplay is a change up, and that's like that's a appealing factor too. But I do think like if you're gonna call a game, if you're gonna have the subtitle Legends, it's like you gotta kind of like you got to honor that. And Pokemon has the budget to do better stories, and they have like, you know, they have the resources, so there's not really much of an excuse.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what did you think about, like, ZA himself as a character, though? I'm
Oh, you
interested
mean
what you
AZ?
think or AZ, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think that they I mean like I'll be honest, like when I play these games, I'm not like super like I don't tune into the story as much as probably other people do cuz it's a lot more like I mean like I don't know why it just doesn't stick with me as much. It's more like I'm just trying to I want to like see the gameplay develop. Um,
Yeah,
but like I don't know, I think that it was I think his role in the story like was I don't know I definitely caught me off guard just like how he does kind of have like the most like sort of complete like
yeah,
arc in the game. I mean like you know
yeah.
spoilers obviously like it's like it caught me off guard that he passed away at the end like that was
Spoilers, he
spoiler.
dies.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you know, the game's been out.
Yeah,
Like you know, anyone that's played it has played it, or that wants to play it has played it. Yeah, that was a
You know
pretty
what I did? You know what I
what?
did when I saw that he died?
What? Did you cry? Oh. I did not hear what you just
That's
like
what I did.
this I
Do
celebrated. I
you have
was
the sound effects turned off?
no, I yeah, I do. I have them turned off.
Damn
So
it.
the trumpet came up but nothing
I went I
nothing was
went
heard.
wah wah
Yeah.
wah wah.
Yeah. Pretty sad stuff, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's like like what stuck with me about that aspect was just like the fact that like you feel his death in terms of the fact that like or like well the climax in general we could kind of talk about that because it's
Yeah.
like it has like I'm so used to Pokemon games like the story plays out and then you finish the game and then nothing really changes but like it does feel like there's a sense of finality with like the way that the center of the world changes like when you finish the game like it turns into that big wild area.
Mm,
I thought that was kind of interesting.
yeah.
um
Yeah, yeah, that was well done. It was questionable to me like the the idea of taking the Eiffel Tower and like turning it into a Pokemon. I thought was kind of weird and
yeah.
stupid, but like everything surrounding that in terms of like all the characters coming together and then it kind of wraps up AZ's story in a nice way to where it's
Mhm.
like consistent with the story that he has in X and Y and then he kind of like pays for his sins
Yeah.
um, at the very end of his life, and I kind of appreciated that
Mhm.
that take on it.
Yeah.
So you know, overall, I would say that the ending is like not something that was like super great for me, but it also wasn't like bad either. It was just kind of like, yeah, okay, that's how they would end this story based on how the game has gone so far. Yeah,
Yeah. It was like yeah, the climax specifically just like the ending battle and all that the just all that like commotion that you go through in the final like
yeah,
lead up to the final battle is just like it was super just like what is going on like this is not what Pokemon
hmm
usually is like. I mean even like Legends
no,
Arceus I don't feel like was that like high concept. You know, I mean like
yeah.
it had its moments but they were definitely like they were trying to go hard with this one, make it a spectacle. But
Do you remember the part where this is just kind of a funny thing? Do you remember the part where Forbeau and his gang like they make like a human ladder up the side
yes.
of the building for you? I did that, and then I was like, "Well, what happens if I just walk off the building?" So I did,
Yeah.
and it's really funny because there's an extra like cutscene that plays where he
Oh really?
basically like comes up to you and he's like, "What are you doing?" And then they do it again, and you can just keep doing it over and over again. It's really funny.
I don't think I tried that. That's funny. I love that. No,
Yeah.
I've seen that like that part of the game like made fun of on like Twitter or something. Like it's just like yeah.
It's very campy and
Oh
high
yeah.
concept, like you said, but,
Mhm.
like, I didn't hate it, you know? It's just kinda
Yeah, it's
like,
like it's
yeah, these
fun,
characters are
you know.
decent enough. I'm rooting for them, so sure, why not?
Yeah. It's just like we're just having fun. Like you said, it really is like we're like just anime-ifying it. I mean, like with
Yeah,
Pokemon, I think that makes the most sense because like I mean, obviously the Pokemon anime is a thing, um,
yeah.
and just like making it super silly and stuff. Like it's like it's just cartoony. But
I want all of the stories in my kids' games to be super grounded and mature.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. No, I
I don't
won't
know.
settle for this. Yeah. No,
I just
it was
miss when,
whatever.
like, Nintendo could tell stories in their games that were, like, um they were grounded, but, like,
Yeah.
also I feel like
They had fun moments.
they don't really respect the intelligence of the player in regards to the story anymore,
No.
and I just miss when they did. That's all I'll say.
I feel like they're really like they're always super concerned about making their games as widely appealing as possible. Not always,
Mm,
but especially with certain modern releases, like it just feels it can feel very like we just want people to buy this game. We want people to like it. Which
Mhm.
obviously that's the goal when you're a company, video game company. But yeah, no, I agree. Like I do feel like, and maybe this is more with like Pokemon, but they do like they kind like you said, they don't always respect the player's intelligence, and I have noticed that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm willing to let it go most of the time, but I do notice that with certain games. Um,
It's such like a whiplash because right after playing the game,
mm,
I've been playing Silent Hill 2 recently.
yeah,
And the difference between like the story in Legend ZA, which is like this very basic, like kind of kid story,
yeah,
to like a very emotionally mature, like super dark
oh
story
yeah,
that with like multiple layers is like really funny.
yeah, oh yeah. No, you're not coming to Pokemon for the story. I think that's where
No.
you know people know that. I just and this was I was gonna bring up regarding like Spider-Man because I just finished that game and it's just like comparing like the climax of that game to Pokemon Legends
Hmm.
ZA. It's just like yeah,
Wait, you did finish it? You finished it?
yeah, I finished it.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, the ending of that game is really cool.
it is. Yeah, dude, I teared up a little. I know
Yeah.
we're not talking about Spider-Man, but I mean, but it's kind of similar because spoiler, a character dies at the end of both games, so it's like and they both
Yeah.
take place in a city,
Yeah.
and there's a battle on like regarding a tower at the end of both games,
Yep.
and there's like I don't know, I'm trying to like make all these connections. You fight
They're
characters with like
basically the same
big
game.
arms. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, yeah, they're basically the same game. No, so but
That's kind of all I
overall,
have to say about this story, though.
yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, honestly, like I'm running kind of low on stuff in general to talk about that we haven't already talked about. Um,
Yeah.
do you have
And
anything
me
that?
too.
Yeah.
I've kind of gone through all my talking points. We talked about the gameplay. We talked
Yeah.
about like the overall organization. We talked about the
Hmm.
story. Oh, I'll say the customization, actually. I appreciate
Oh
the
yeah.
customization in this game.
Yeah, they
That's
had.
like a small thing comparatively, but
Hmm.
that was something that like kept me going is that
Yeah.
I liked stylizing my character. So that was cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think I dipped my toes into that like as deeply as I could, but I did actively throughout the game like try to like get new clothes, see what else they had like around the shops and stuff. I was a fan of that. I'm always a fan of like when they're like trying to push customization in Pokemon more and more. I've like kind of seen that progression over. Well, there's been like ups and downs of it, but like
Hmm.
overall, I think they're more keen on letting you like customize your character, which is cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Um,
So closing, so okay, let's go back to the like your overall rating, or do you like give me
well,
your overall
the
thoughts.
last, and, this is kind of like a nice closing thing, but the last thing that I wanted to bring up was like, I think this, like, I mean, this is something that also kind of happened in Arceus, but like being able to just like send your Pokemon out whenever and just like walk around with
Mm,
it, like just kind of have it hang out and like you can like take
yeah.
pictures with it. Like I was a big fan of that. That was kind of like in Arceus too. But Arceus, I don't think you could like they wouldn't follow you if you sent them out.
No,
And
I
so
don't think so either.
that was one aspect of this game that I really enjoyed was being able to just like walk around and like like I feel like Pokemon takes small like one by one steps to
Yeah,
like make you feel more immersed. And so I'm a fan
yeah.
of that. Overall, I think if you want me to give a rating for this game, I think I would give it a 7 out of 10. I think
Okay.
that's my rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Um, I'm kind of between a 7 and a 6, I think. I think I'm gonna say 6.5. So I'm just like
Okay.
half a step lower than you.
Yeah.
And I think that the difference between our scores probably comes down to that I care more about the story than you do.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just kind of okay.
I mean, I
And to you, you
almost yeah.
probably didn't care too much about it.
Yeah, I almost gave it a 7.5 out of 10, but
Mhm.
there are, I mean, like, I'm not gonna act like there's a lot of things that I wish they did differently. I think overall I liked Arceus more. I think that was a big
Oh, yeah.
that's a big like um that's a big I can't think of the word.
Difference.
Yeah, difference slash discrepancy, I was gonna say, I guess,
Oh,
between the
yeah.
two games is for me is I think Arceus was uh handled in a lot better of a way. Um
Mhm.
but I'm
And it's
very
it's it's a little unfair of a comparison when I think about it honestly, because Arceus was also very fresh. It was a fresh idea. We had never
that's
had an open
true.
world Pokemon game, and so I as much as, I don't really have anything else to compare ZA to, like, obviously, like, Arceus is the closest comparison.
Yeah.
But I agree. I would give, like, Arceus, I think, probably, like, a 9 or, like, a 9.5 out of 10.
Mhm.
And this game, unfortunately, is just, like, not as fresh. And, like, the gameplay and mechanics, they really did, like, save the game for me in the end.
Yeah.
But to me, there's really no reason to, like, play it more than, like, 40 to 50 hours, because by that point, it's kind of run its course. Like, you've seen everything that the game has to offer.
Yeah, like I know that like well and like I have another probably like 10, 20 hours left to play because I got the DLC. So we'll see how that pans
Yeah.
out. But yeah, like I played through Legends Arceus twice now because I played it back when it came out and then I
Yeah.
played it earlier in 2025 and it wasn't stale either time. But the difference with this game is I don't feel compelled to play this again. Like I mean maybe that'll change in like a couple years or however long, but like I don't know. I just feel like it's run its course. I feel like if I'm gonna do anything more in the game, I don't even feel compelled to like try to learn the battling system and try to get into like competitive battling. Like I enjoyed the battle system,
Mhm.
but I just know that like there's going to be people that are so dedicated to try to learn it and I don't feel that dedicated to like learn the ins and outs of it, unfortunately. So,
That's fair. Did you do any online battling?
no, I haven't. Which, we didn't
Yeah,
even
okay.
talk about the fact that they locked certain megastones behind the online battling, which is
Yeah,
so stupid, but I mean, like that's the whole thing with like Nintendo slash the Pokemon Company, like that. Yeah, that doesn't really have to do with the game
yeah,
itself. So
just just another nick on the board for that one. Yeah,
hmm
that
another
that
common
pissed me
Nintendo
off too,
L.
because I couldn't use my Mega Greninja.
I
What
know,
the hell?
fucking lame, man. Yeah, um, but yeah, overall though, I will say that I am still in anticipation for the next Legends game. I
Yeah.
I am excited. I think I'm pretty confident that the next one's just going to be even. I mean, it's going to be better. I do think this was a step below the first one, but given the circumstances, I think there's a reason to that. But if the next Legends game is a Switch 2 exclusive and it's like a lot more fully fleshed out, I think it has the chance to rival Arceus or be at least on
Yeah.
par with Arceus. So
The key is they just have to give the games enough development time and
yeah,
enough, like, love. They just, I felt like with Legend ZA, it was something new for that development team, and they really, like, were probably excited about it, and
hmm
it definitely, like, showed in the game itself. Even if they didn't have, like, the longest time to develop it, like, you can still tell that there's, like, a lot of passion put into that game. And
yeah.
I just feel like after Scarlet and Violet and with this one, like, they maybe just weren't as the developers just weren't as into it, maybe?
Yeah,
and I think it shows in the game design, and I think they have to do something to kind of uh, to bring that passion back into the design of these games. You know?
I think that there was. I think across the board there was a lot of expectations with whatever the next Legends game was going to be. So I think um, what um, the Stranger Things effect, if you will. You begin with something so strong, and then
Yeah.
you continue it, and you're bound to disappoint people. You know.
Hmm.
I think unfortunately that is true. Obviously, it's not. That's not like the fault of the fans completely, but um, yeah, I think this game probably suffered from like, you know, some trying to I in a way top themselves while also being more contained. So it like I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
that's a good
just
way to put it.
yeah, there was just things going against this game. You know, one thing that I was gonna bring up, and this is we don't have to go super in depth with this, but it's like there's like this theory. I don't even know if it's a theory. Like it might just be flat out confirmed that Nintendo like they'll have games that are done and they hold them back like for strategic
Mm,
reasons, right? Like they don't release them when they're done. Like they release them when they find to be the opportune moment. I wonder if that happened with this game. Like I wonder if like they finished the game like a year ago and then Nintendo was like, "Hey, listen, we got this new console coming out. We would really like there to be a Pokemon game as like a holiday title. Can we wait until holiday of 2025?" I'm just curious, like if because it doesn't feel like this game had 3 years of development. I don't know.
no,
So
no, I could see that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that makes sense.
I was gonna bring
They
that up a while
especially with
ago,
they
but I forgot.
wanted it to be like the um the first Pokemon game, the Switch 2 generation, and they wanted it to come out near the holidays. Like,
Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
You know, maybe they finished this game like because wasn't it rumored that like originally this was going to come out for Christmas in 2024?
Well, that's what I would have expected, frankly,
Yeah.
because like it almost feels like that was the plan, but then Nintendo at the last minute stepped in and was just like, "Hey, let's postpone this a little longer, just so we can have something for the Switch 2's launch." And I don't know. To me, and like, I mean, you could even talk about how like, oh well, maybe that's why the DLC came out so soon after the game launched because the game was already ready for that long, and then the DLC was like their whole development. I don't know. I'm like going into full conspiracy territory, but who knows? Like that, it could be that doesn't really change much about the game itself, but either way,
You're spitting,
um,
dude. I think that's totally true, and you must have insider knowledge at Nintendo.
I
Your
gotta get
dad
my
must work for Nintendo.
either that or I gotta get my like my tinfoil hat and like get all the pictures on the wall. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, man, it's true. You gotta believe me. Um, I don't know. Either way, yeah, 7 out of 10. Definitely, I don't regret playing the game, but it's I'm
It's yeah.
I hope the next one is better. We'll put it that way. Um,
And so what like going forward, I
mhm.
mean you've already talked about it a little bit, but like what how do you feel about like the trajectory of Pokemon at this point? I know it's kind of cloudy because like we're at the start of the Switch 2 generation. We don't really well, I should say we wouldn't really have any idea what was coming if not for the
For the
leaks, but
leaks,
based
right?
on the
Yeah.
leaks
Well,
that I'm pretty sure are like there's like no doubt that those aren't real, right?
yeah. I don't have much. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm someone when it comes to leaks. Like, I'm someone who is like always skeptical until I get like hard confirmation. Cause then like I'll go back and I'll say like, oh well, the leaks were those were obviously had like truth to them, but like I don't know, man. I'm always kind of skeptical about stuff. But
But
when it comes
when it
to Pokemon, wait, what'd you say?
nothing.
Oh, I thought you were.
My AirPods are just being stupid.
Oh, um, one thing I was gonna say is we are recording this video, and also this video will go up before um, Pokemon's big yearly announcement this year, 2026. And
Mm,
this is a big year for them because this is their 30th anniversary. So even if I did not see the leaks, I would predict that something big is coming for Pokemon this year. Um, and yeah, overall, probably, if it wasn't all but confirmed, Generation 10, Switch 2 exclusive, big as hell. Pokemon launch. I mean, it also the fact that we don't know barely anything that Nintendo's doing this year. It just makes
yeah,
sense. It just makes sense that there's going to be some big Pokemon game. Like that's going to be their saving grace. It's going to be 2016 all over again.
yeah.
Um,
And God, let it be like really good and
yeah,
let it look really good so that the internet is happy
yeah. For
and we
once,
don't have
no.
another like firestorm like there was with Legends ZA because oh my
Yeah.
God, like if they're gonna have a good Pokemon, like if they're gonna have a Pokemon game come out that soon on the Switch, it needs to be fucking good.
It needs to be really, really good. I'm really hoping that like they've been planning it for a while, or like, and that it just comes together well. We'll see though. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to play it when it comes out because I don't even know if I'm gonna have a Switch 2 by then. But rest assured, I will be following the
You'll be
news
excited.
every step of the way. You know,
Yeah.
that's the curse of being a Pokemon fan is even when times are tough and you're getting constantly shit on, you're still there. You still show up for the news. You still show up for Pokemon. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, that's. I'm optimistic. I think things will go in a good direction.
Yeah. Me
Um,
too.
but yeah, so I'll see you in March for the Pokemon Pocopia discussion video.
No, absolutely fucking not.
All right, guys. Thank you
Out of
for
the
watching.
question.
Thank you for watching. If let us know what you think about Pokemon ZA, whether you played it or not. Maybe you didn't play it and you think it's dog shit and you want to complain in the comments. That's engagement. That's good for the analytics.
Do it.
So just do it.
Do it.
Um, but yeah, and Donovan, thank
It's
you
all
for
over the comic section. Just get real
yeah.
mad.
Just get real mad. Just shit on me. I
Take
don't
it
even
out on
care.
us. Take
Like
it out on
criticize
us.
me. Like give me your best roast me. Give me your best insult. I don't even care. Like it doesn't even have to be Pokemon related. It could just be you just don't like my face. That's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Donovan, thank you for joining me. There's no one else that would be willing to talk about Pokemon this much with me or modern Pokemon. But overall, I appreciate it. It was good. It was a good time. It was a good time exploring this game.
Well, next
Um,
time when I do the Gen 10 impressions video,
yeah, and
it'll just be me, and I'll
I
just
just,
be talking to myself
yeah,
because you won't
I
have to
won't
speak
even be
to
there. You'll be like, what's that? You'll act like you're having a conversation, but it'll just be
yeah,
you back and forth. I would watch
back and
that.
forth.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. With that, guys, we'll see you in the next episode of Chit Chats. Bye bye.
Yeah. Chit Chats,
Yeah.
dance.
Oh
Are we
yeah, I
still doing
forgot
this?
about this.
Oh yeah. When it's just me and you, we got to do the chit chat
That's
stage.
true. I'm bouncing in my chair.
What?